What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to install our high clearance GX470 rear bumper. So behind me here, we have it fully installed already, and this is the final product, what it's going to look like when it's all together. So as you guys can see here, we got a super strong hitch receiver here. We have over here some 2-pod LED. These are from Dow Dynamics, the SSC2. And it's super braced as well. Everything from the side to the back to the underneath, super strong. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the install. So first thing we need to do, open up the rear hatch. There is this plastic piece that is hiding the hardware that we need to remove. So with some kind of pry tool or flathead, you guys will need to pry up this piece. So go underneath, we'll pop it up here, just like so. There are these little tabs all the way around, so we'll do that all the way. You guys can kind of slide it and find out where the tabs are. So there's one right here, like so. Once you have it off, you see here, once you get over here, if you guys still have your bolt that is holding the hinge in, you can pull it up to pull that off, and then you can pull the rest of the plastic trim off. We got all these hardwares right here, starting over here. There's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's one black clip that is right there. We'll pop these off. And then on each side of the bumper, there's gonna be a T30 button head screw right here. So that's gonna be on both sides of the vehicle. And then if you guys still have the mud flaps, you guys might have extra hardware down underneath, but just take anything off that is holding the actual bumper off. So we'll go ahead and do that first. So these are going to be a 10 millimeter. Then I believe that one that is holding the hinge on is also a 10 millimeter. Once you have that off, you can lift this part up like so. That way you can take the whole door off like that. And then we'll pop off this clip right here. Some kind of pry tool or flathead will work just the same. Pop that off, pull it off. And then we're going to use a T30 to remove the button heads on the side off. Taking this will just allow you to pull it away from the actual liner. And then lastly, I forgot to mention, there is an extra 10 millimeter bolt right here on the very top that holds the very corner in. So we'll get that off as well. And then once you have it off on both sides, you can then pull it away. And then coming over, it all will come off as one piece. Here you go. And then if you guys still have your bottom part, which you should, if you guys are watching this video, we're gonna flip it over. So the top is gonna be on the ground. Now you guys will need these spacers. These spacers are 3/4 of an inch tall. What you need to do, set one in the corner like so. And then the same on the other side, just like that. So once you have these spacers on the very edge of the bumper, we were going to measure 12 1/4 from the ground up. So as you guys see, we put a black trim, or also to be exactly at 12 1/4 to the very top of that. And you guys will want to do that all the way around. So basically just mark it. So that way it's 12 1/4 all the way around. Basically draw a line, put a tape all the way to the edge. The only thing you guys don't want to cut is going to be the very end. So this one here, you guys want to retain, just so that way you can put the screw that holds in the fender liner to the actual bumper. All right, so this is what it would look like if you guys still have the bottom part of your bumper, but obviously we already cut it. So once you guys have cut it, it's going to look like so. This is the very bottom part of it here, as you guys see here, the edge. we cut it in just a little bit so that way we can retain that part with the hole where we can keep the fender liner. And then at this point, after you guys have cut it, you guys can put on a weather or door trim on it just to clean up the line a little bit. But if you guys don't you don't want to, you don't have to. So before you guys reinstall your styrofoam piece, we're gonna trim it, because when we install this on there, being that we cut up so high on the bumper, part of the styrofoam is going to be visible. So what we're doing is we're measuring 1 1/8 up from the bottom, marking it pretty much all along that, and then we're going to put a tape on it, and then we're going to cut that all the way across. 1 1/8 basically is going to match the inside of this depth here. So once we trim that, it should be about the same, and we don't really have to worry about the back because that's not going to be visible. The biggest thing is going to be the front and then part of the side. So we'll tape it up and then we'll cut it. So we're using this white tape just because it sticks a little bit better than the blue tape that we have. Obviously it's a little harder to see, but we know exactly where we're cutting. So there's the pen marks that we've made. Down here, same thing. Just try to follow that as closely as we can. It doesn't need to be perfect because it's going to be hidden above the factory bumper anyways. We just need it to be high enough so that way it's not visible. All right, so we finished trimming off the bottom and we placed it back in here. There are notches for it to fall into, so it can't really go anywhere else. Once it's in, then we'll go ahead and grab the bumper, go around the door, so. Then there are these little clips here, here, and here. Just make sure it goes all the way in. Goes into place. Same thing for this side here. And then once you have that, you guys can see there, you don't really see any of the foam, whereas before you could see it about 1 1/8 inches there. So if you guys really wanted to, you could paint the bottom side of the foam black, so that way it's all black, you can't see it at all. And then from here, reinstall all your hardware that is in here, and then the clip in the corner here. All right, so now we are ready to move the bumper up and mount it. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you guys all the hardware and all the brackets that we have in here. So on the very sides of the bumper, there's gonna be 2 holes that mount to the side of the frame. Those are gonna get brand new hardware, which we will provide with the bumper. These ones here will also go into the frame. Those will use existing hardware, 2 big ones here. And then for the main part where the hitch is gonna get 6 of these, 6 factory hardware bolts right there. And then the other same things on the other sides. So let's go ahead and lift this up. We'll get the bottom 2 started. That way we can have it up without having to support the weight. So it'll go around this beam right here, as you guys can see. And then we can start any of the hardware just to hold it in place. The hitch part, we use 6 factory bolts. So this is actually a lot stronger than the factory hitch, just because the factory only uses 4. And then these 4 here, the top 2 is going to be a little bit tricky just because they're in there, but these ones here shouldn't be too bad to start. If you get a socket on that, you can get that started. So this bracket here on the very side of the bumper is going to get the 2 new hardware. So you just lift it up, move it in place, and then start those like so. And everything should line up exactly where it needs to. So you got those 2 there, these 2 right here going to the frame, these 2 bottom ones, and then 4 right behind the hitch here. So there's a lot holding this bumper on, so it's super stout. once you guys have everything started, you can go ahead and tighten it all down. All right, so we are pretty much all done. Show you guys a few things here. So this logo, the R4T logo, is gonna come with your bumper. That piece is optional. You guys don't have to install it if you guys don't want to, but it is stainless steel, so you don't have to get it coated. It will come with 2 small screws or bolts to install that as well. On this bumper, you'll have 2 tubes, the hitch that you can actually use to recover. And then over here, we have the light bar bracket. So underneath here, you can see the gusset that is in this corner. It also has a single hole, so you can run something like what we have here, which is a SSC2 pod by Dial Dynamics. You can run something similar like a Baja Designs S2 as well. And then over here, like I said earlier in the video, there's a brace here for the side tube. So this is fully braced. This is probably as high clearance as you can get with a bumper like this. And then of course, that little notch that we showed you guys earlier to kind of cut off. That way you guys can retain that little clip. That way nothing flaps in here and your fender liner is all intact. All right guys, that is gonna conclude our install video for our high clearance GX 470 bumper. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.